Ring. When Jamie walked into the Shark Tank in Season 5, Episode 9, he wasn't just pitching a gadget, he was pitching a vision for the future of home security. His invention, Doorbot, was a Wi-Fi enabled video doorbell that let you see and talk to visitors from your phone. Jamie asked for $700,000 in exchange for 10% of his company. The Sharks were skeptical. Kevin O'Leary questioned whether people really needed to answer their door remotely. Mark Cuban worried about competition from larger tech companies. Jamie left without a deal, feeling the sting of rejection on national television. Doorbot rebranded as Ring, improved its technology, and tapped into growing fears about home safety. Celebrity investors like Richard Branson got involved. By 2018, Amazon bought Ring for $1 billion, turning what the Sharks saw as a risky gadget into one of the most successful products in smart home history. Kodiak Cakes. When brothers Joel and Cameron Clark appeared on Shark Tank in Season 5, Episode 22, they brought stacks of pancakes and waffles to showcase their whole grain, protein-rich mixes. The concept was straightforward: make breakfast healthier without sacrificing taste. The Sharks enjoyed the samples, but didn't believe the brand could compete with household names like Aunt Jemima and Bisquick. Kevin O'Leary pushed for a large share of the company in exchange for his investment, but the Clarks weren't willing to give up that much control. They left without a deal. Over the next decade, Kodiak Cakes expanded steadily, fueled by grocery store distribution, fitness influencer endorsements, and new product lines including frozen waffles, oatmeal, and snack bars. By 2023, the company had reached $160 million in annual revenue and $480 million valuation, a scale the Sharks never saw coming. The Books Company. In Season 5, Episode 27, John Tabis stepped into the tank with a bouquet of flowers and a promise: fresher blooms for less money. His company cut out wholesalers and florists by shipping flowers directly from eco-friendly farms. The Sharks liked the look but hated the margins. They warned John the logistics would crush him and that he couldn't beat the big floral players. He walked away without a deal, but John quietly built a loyal customer base online, marketing through Instagram and leaning into subscription services for birthdays, anniversaries, and holidays. Then came a turning point. The company's reputation grew, and soon, Books was partnering with major brands and pulling in $59.7 million annually. Today, it's valued around $597 million, proving that the flower business can be wildly profitable. Swimply. When Swimply pitched in Season 11, the founders had a bold idea: turn every backyard pool into a revenue stream by renting it out by the hour. Think Airbnb, but for swimming pools. The Sharks grilled them on insurance, safety, and scalability. Lori Grainer worried about legal nightmares, while Mark Cuban doubted people would actually rent pools from strangers. Without a deal, Swimply looked like it might sink, but then the pandemic hit, and suddenly, private outdoor spaces became one of the hottest commodities in the country. Families, friend groups, and even fitness trainers started booking pools as a safe, socially distant alternative to public recreation. Swimply exploded in popularity, expanded internationally, and now earns $25 million a year with $250 million valuation. Goalsetter. In Season 10, Tanya came in with Goalsetter, a fintech platform that helps kids learn to save money and understand financial literacy. She asked for $200,000 for 4% of equity. The Sharks were moved by her mission, but doubted the business could compete in the crowded app market. They wanted to see more traction before investing. Tanya ended up leaving without a deal, but she didn't leave quietly. She continued building partnerships with banks, schools, and community organizations, getting Goalsetter into the hands of families across the country. Celebrity investors like Kevin Durant and Chris Paul joined in. Today, Goalsetter makes $12.5 million annually and is valued at $125 million. Coffee meets Bagel. When sisters Arum, Dawoon, and Sue Kang walked into the tank in Season 6 with Coffee Meets Bagel, they were trying to stand out in a world dominated by dating apps like Tinder. Their twist? Instead of endless swiping, users got one curated match per day, focusing on quality, not quantity. The Sharks questioned if the model could scale. Mark Cuban went even further, offering to buy the company outright for $30 million, the largest cash offer in Shark Tank history at the time. The sisters turned him down on the spot, believing in their long-term vision. The decision was risky, but it paid off. Coffee Meets Bagel grew steadily, raising over $23 million in funding and carving out a loyal niche in the dating world. Today, it's worth $116 million, proving sometimes the best match is the one you can make with your own instincts. Spikeball. Chris Reuter entered the tank in Season 6 with a portable, fast-paced sport that looked like a mix of volleyball and foursquare. He called it Spikeball. The Sharks were entertained, but thought it might just be a short-lived idea. Dame and John offered $500,000 for 20% of the company, but the licensing terms didn't sit right with Chris, so he walked away. Outside the tank, Spikeball exploded in popularity, fueled by by college clubs, beach tournaments, and viral YouTube videos. The sport gained national recognition with televised championships and millions of units sold. Spikeball now pulls in $33 million a year and is valued at $100 million. Pet Plate. In Season 8, Ronaldo Webb pitched Pet Plate, a subscription-based fresh dog food delivery service. The Sharks thought it was clever, but doubted the market size and worried about shipping perishable goods nationwide. Without their backing, Ronaldo kept going, using targeted online ads and influencer marketing to attract devoted pet parents. The brand took off, riding the premium pet food boom. Pet Plate generates $26.2 million a year and is worth $78.6 million. Hammer and Nails. Michael Elliott, a former Hollywood screenwriter, came into Season 6 with Hammer and Nails, a grooming lounge for men. His concept was a spa-like environment with leather chairs, craft beer, sports on TV, and high-end nail care, all designed to appeal to male customers. The Sharks liked the creativity, but thought it was too niche to scale nationally. Michael refused to compromise on his vision and left without a deal. He began franchising the concept, tapping into an underserved market of men who wanted personal care without the salon stigma. Hammer and Nails now brings in $25.5 million a year and has a $76.5 million evaluation. Bedjet. Mark pitched Bedjet in Season 6, a device that could heat or cool your bed instantly using a system tucked under the mattress. The Sharks didn't just say no, they roasted the idea. Laurie called it a solution looking for a problem, while Kevin O'Leary questioned if anyone would ever buy it. Mark left humiliated, but determined. He launched a Kickstarter campaign, and orders poured in from customers who loved the concept. Today, Bedjet makes $5.2 million a year and is valued at $52 million, a testament to the fact that even the most ridiculed ideas can find a market. CodeChecks. In Season 4, a Shark Tank participant presented one of the more unusual pitches the Sharks had seen, a ticketless CodeChecks system. The founder, Derek, stepped into the tank asking for $200,000 for 10% of CodeChecks, a system that used photos and IDs instead of paper claim tickets so you could check your coat without worrying about losing that tiny slip of paper. The Sharks thought it was clever, but some worried it was too niche. Mark Cuban even offered a deal, but for a much larger share of the company than Derek was willing to give up. He ended up walking away, confident in the fact that he could grow it himself. Outside the tank, CodeChecks rebranded as Checksology and expanded its tech to not just handle codes, but bags, rentals, and events for major brands and stadiums. The company now works with clients like Live Nation and Nike, bringing in $5.1 million a year annually. Audio. In Season 14, Audio's founders pitched a GPS-powered app. It worked like this. Imagine you're on a road trip, driving past mountains, small towns, and landmarks you've never heard of, and your phone starts telling you stories. That was the vision the founders of Audio brought into the tank, a GPS-powered app that plays location-based audio tales as you travel. They were asking for funding to grow their library and reach more travelers. The Sharks loved the creativity, but doubted whether it could ever pull in a big enough audience to scale. Without a deal, the founders ended up hitting the road on their own, adding thousands of new stories and teaming up with celebrity narrators to bring history and local culture to life. Word ended up spreading among RV owners, road trippers, and curious travelers. With $9.2 million in funding and a $46 million evaluation, Audio turned the simple act of just driving into $1 million storytelling business.